welcome back to the channel, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. This is a witching hour campfire experience, but the campfire's kind of, it's a little bit too cold for the campfire. Just to show, I did try to get it to set a light, but it's just too cold. The wood's just too damp. We're going to get into the witching hour. It's just a couple of minutes before the witching hour, and I've got a new torch. Well, it's a new lamp. It's better than the other one. It allows me to actually, still blinded though. Still blinded by the light. And there was a couple of things off camp just before I was coming on camera, because it is getting to that time. Just getting the spirit talker, because it is the witching hour and it's an urban legend as well. Urban legend of the Rake, but actual facts of the Rake and whatever comes through the spirit talker. This lamp allows me to do it this way, which is a lot better. It's not as I'm not having to use a head torch. I've got a new head torch as well, which is pretty cool. Just to show. Just to show. I'm going to switch it on. And we're rocking and rolling. Bada bing. Let's see what comes through. So anyway, welcome to a random night. But the moon phase tonight is quite interesting because it's a hunter's moon. What's a hunter's moon? A hunter's moon is when the moon is completely black. Has no sun reflection whatsoever.
Go left.
It's just said go left. Turn this up. That's full volume. There we go. That gets in the way of the light. So the urban legend of the Rake. I think I've already covered it in a previous video, but this one's actual facts. There's a couple of videos online. Urbex Hill's got a good one when he's in the overflow tunnels. When I actually watched the premiere of that, and it actually sent the shivers up the spine, because it is genuine. That one is 100% real. It's Urbex Hill, the tunnels with the figures in the tunnels. He's done quite a few takes on that, because it is
friendly.
Because it is well, I'm talking about the Rake, and it's something's saying not friendly. So it was go left, not friendly. Okay. Okie dokies. And we have our own sightings in this in the UK as well. I'm going to start with World War II, when they had to use the underground as a basically air raid shelters. Tree knocking just down to the left. I'm completely up here on my own. And the wind's just randomly got up as well.
Yes, I will.
The wind's just got up. get a better reaction this time with that lamp. That lamp is a really good investment, actually. What's
Your
it?
hair.
Your hair. I do apologise if any of the lights come through the screen in blind. My own eyesight's totally shot with the big LED lamp. The big LED lamp. Oh. You know. Yeah, so they used the underground, and they did a lot of remodelling after the Second World War. A lot of it was due to...
No, that's wrong.
It's just said, no, that's wrong, because I'm going somewhere, because there is actually genuine sightings. There was like because there's two particular underground stations, they're still pretty intact. It's because they got abandoned because there was
5.
it's actually agreeing with everything I'm about to say. There was 5 reports from each of the stations that there was something else in the tunnels while what was happening up above ground was happening. There was also stuff happening down underground as well. That of the supernatural. And that's legitimate. It's not like propaganda. It's not fake propaganda or anything like that. You can actually look that stuff up. It's the first proper recordings of the Rake. It was in World War II, and it goes further back as well. Because when they first started, there was already creatures. When they first started building the underground, they came across them. Because there's another bit where there's a part completed. They started it but didn't finish it. It's quite interesting. You can look all this up. It's really fascinating. But where
Scares people.
where I'm going is the 5 reports, because it's quite hard to actually get, because they're individuals, because it's 5 reports from 2 stations, so it's like 10 reports in total. But it was like 5 individuals, separate. They were completely separate.
Explosion.
There was a lot of explosions when they were using the underground as air raid shelters. It's quite fascinating. And then you can bring it forward, because that's the World War II. They're only brief. It's only brief because a lot of it's hush hush. Even though it shouldn't be, because like there's modern day sightings, because there's like videos online with
Loneliness.
like the water people putting down cameras. I'm gonna have to stand to do this. I can't sit with my back for too long. I can't turn my back for too long. Sorry. I'm gonna have to stand for this one. But it's a different camera. Oh, pardon me. It's a different angle, because the light's a bit blinding though. That's to get full effect. I have to look into the light, which blinds me for anything. Because there's been a couple of the last thing it said was loneliness. And then before that was explosion. It was talking about the Blitz in London. Well, it wasn't just London, it was pretty much up and down the UK. And the one before the explosion was he scares people. What I'm talking about is the Rake. But if you're really curious as to like a proper, genuine, it's not staged or anything like that, Urbex Hill.
My throat hurt at the end.
Urbex Hill, when he's in the overflow tunnels. And then there's another one with a group of teenagers, but that's quite hard to come across because again, that's something happened to one of the teenagers in another separate video. But there is a creepy videos, but you have to go right back to the beginning of it's in the first 20 uploads. It's like there's like a couple of genuine some of it's genuine and some of it isn't. But the Urbex Hill with the overflow tunnels, that's genuine. But Beverly again. Hi Beverly. I'd love to talk, but I'm doing a urban legend. You're more than welcome to sit around or whatever and listen. It's the urban legend of the Rake. I have been up here with another urban legend called the werewolf or werewolf.
What's that box?
There isn't a box. Just heard some off down there. There's I'm going to give a wee bit of context. The reason.
My life was amazing.
I think you've said that before. Yeah. I'm glad your life was amazing. I really am. I'm glad your life was amazing. The reason I don't call out, because I've been asked and there's been a few comments left, but they're in the shorts, so I don't really pay attention to the comments in the shorts. But for this one, I'll give a wee bit of explanation. I don't call out because I'm on a way line in the middle of buckfuck nowhere, and the way line does something really weird that only 2 other way lines do. And there's I recently uploaded last day videos during the day, and another content creator has done the actual Russian way line. The one in Russia has actually done a video on the Russians actually keep it secret, but this way line where it goes a bit mental is because of it does something that only two other way lines do, which is sort of like meanders a little bit with the flow of the land pretty much, which is really strange. Because like I said, it's the only...
Communicate.
Yeah, you can use the device to communicate. That's why I'm not holding it. It's there, you can communicate through. Yeah, I don't call out. I only call out if I really need to. It's because of like I've had an experience, because the same person, because it was one big comment was like, oh, like people seem to think I take this as a game, and it's not. It's really not, because I understand wayline energy, and a lot of people don't. And then you put into factor that I've had a lot of weird and strange encounters and experiences. Even like I've only just started recording them, which is why I get the stupid comments. Because according to the videos, I'm new. Yeah, I'm new. I'm new to recording the experiences. But I've always had the experiences my whole life. I made a mistake when I was young. I made a mistake when I was younger, and there's a reason why I don't like the fog. And I learnt my lesson pretty much, and ever since then, I don't call out. I've got a couple of videos where I have, and I've regretted it. Because now the experiences and stuff, I was up here building the campfire yesterday and today, and I was even getting, I had a couple of things. There's a reason why I've built a wee a wee barrier. Because the last time I was here and I did camping, or well, I tried to I did stay overnight, and yeah, there's a reason why I've built a barricade from that area, because then I can deal with I'll show what I mean. Like, I can deal with that area. Because even before coming on camera, there's been like weird things happening down in the bottom bit. So I've digressed from the Rake. The Rake is actually a really, in the UK, it is actually a legitimate cryptid. There's so many reports, and they go back as well. Like they go back, even the Romans, the Saxons, even the Vikings, and all the kings and stuff after 1066 as well. There's always been reports of them in the UK. They don't get released very publicly. The only time they get released is when there's like someone taking a video of a video. Because there is a couple. Like, there's a waterwork, a sewer. They put down the wee robotic cameras, and they come across something in the sewer, pretty much. Because you can sort of you can mistaken the Rake for a skinwalker as well.
Florence.
Because they have got a jump scare there. Florence Nightingale, by any chance? Florence Nightingale was the founder of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, the RNLI. the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. It's a bit of a tongue twister. The Rake is really, really fascinating, especially the World War II accounts, because it's like five separate reports, but 10 in total, because it was 2 separate 5 reports spaced out over the whole time of being down underground. And then fast forward, you can have a look at there is still a couple of videos. So if you type in video encounters with the Rake, and they have weird eyes as well. I've only ever had experiences with the skinwalker or the school for heeding. I've got a video of one of the more recent one, and then there's another video where you see a pair of glowing eyes. This video is going to, so it's a full witching hour, but it's only just, it's like a wee extra added urban legend to the Rake, because I think I already touched on it, but I wanted to touch on it again with actual facts. Like you can, like the World War II accounts are really interesting to, yeah, we're outdoors, we're in the middle of nowhere. If you hadn't guessed, I'm in Ravenswood. It's quite, I like coming up here because it's really out the way. That's why if anything happens, it's like, right, because that's what happened down in the, it's always coming from down in that direction. A random light. I'll let you see it. That big bright one. It's bright because it's like the other lamp I've got in my bag. I did try to get the campfire, but it's a bit too cold, and every time it was getting lit, it was like it was blowing out. I'm looking down to see what comes through that, but I'm also pinning my ears as well. It's really strange doing it this way. If the Rake, if the Rake really is what it's actually, I'm glad you know that. I am actually glad that you know that. Arbeck's Hill, and that's the main one, to be fair. That's the main one. That's the main channel I would check out. totally blinded by.
Show.
It's not a show, it's just, it's recording. I'm recording. And and obviously I'm here. I'm here on my own. So it's like some people think I self-project and stuff like that. Well, how am I meant to reply? And I'm also letting the spirit know that, like, I've had experiences. I don't.
Residual energy.
I don't talk about them. The only thing I've talked about is the thing I did back in September. I've not spoken about other times where it's how I can naturally. It's how I've always been able to see, because it happened when I was really, really young, the first time. I'm not going to get into detail about that. I'm not going to talk about that. It's deeply personal. It's quite strange because there isn't even any sound of owls. You're. Strange. That makes no sense. It is a bit. Let my eyes readjust a little bit. That light is a bit blinding. It's a bit bright. It's handy though. The rakes in the UK are quite. It's quite an interesting. There's some really, really, really interesting footage. You can get footage from other parts of the world as well, but the ones in the UK, I'll concentrate on that because that's where I stay. But Ardbex Hill is the like, if anyone says anything about the Rake, I normally go, well, watch Ardbex Hill.
Stand your ground.
Watch the runoff runoff tunnels. If you don't know what it's like, rainwater, and he's out in the middle of nowhere. These runoff tunnels are in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, this is.
You're very respectful.
It's one of that's my most common responses I get. You're most respectful. I'm always respectful. Try to discern if if that's a. Cause I've had so many. Because it is moving. That light is moving. Because I've had so many instances of phantom lights. I even had it on the way up here. But I was solely.
Right here.
There wasn't any settlements around here. further down there is. But depends on how old. Depends how old whoever's communicating. The urban legend of the Rake is like the Rake encounters and stuff that you can search up on. Not even just YouTube, other platforms as well. There's some really interesting, some really, really, really interesting footage out there. I'm actually surprised that I even made it out tonight. I haven't done any random witching hours before this one. Mainly because of the weather, pretty much. And I knew I was going to touch on, I wanted to do an urban legend, but I wanted to do the follow-up videos for the symbols in the wood and stuff. The woodland that's just over yonder that way. They stand out because you can see them. You can see a couple of them from the trail path, and they're really interesting. They're really interesting. Sorry. It's in the way. Sorry. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend.
More energy.
I would highly recommend. I was just getting to say I would highly recommend watching this from here on forward. Watch with spiritual protection. My beard hair standing on edge. There was a weird.
Feel.
There was a weird noise. I base it on freeze. I've heard.
Acknowledge.
I've had 3 tree knocks in total. I've had 3. Nah, I can't see that way. It's interesting that it's around where the ravens nest, because the ravens nest off in the direction of where I'm hearing. But they flew off because I scared them when I came up. When? Earlier. It would be a couple of hours ago now. I was up here during the day as well. Making the wee fire pit. I know the camera's picking up on that. because I want to get into the second part of what I'm going to be talking about. Some a random topic. So I'm going to start this one. This is like a video. This is like, instead of coming off and doing another episode, I'm just like, the rake is really interesting. It's brief, it's short. Because in total it's probably 20 minutes. There's been 10 minutes of like things happening and just talking to the spirit talker device as well. And I just want to really clarify, I don't call out very often. I have my reasons for it. I let the noises in the background do it justice, because I've got more than a few videos where I've had objects thrown at me and things in these woods. This is the only wood, well,
Jessica.
because I was up here during the day, but I didn't bring any recording devices or anything. I wanted to come up here and just do it without recording anything. There will be future content with the fire. It's just a bit harder. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit knackered tonight as well. I've been up here 3 days in a row, sorting out the wood and stuff. Pretty much just tidying up around, because I don't know. You can, like, when I look around, there isn't random logs sticking and stuff, because sometimes I get because you're like, it is like super late. Well, it's not even, it's past late. It's like early morning now. So anyway, the topic. Does the Allfather have a sense of humour? This is a random topic. I was meant to do this topic on the last full moon, but I decided I'd come and do an actual separate video within a video, because that's what it was meant to be. But there was the other symbols in the wood, and where I did the witching hour, the first witching hour experience this year, the video before that, when I met the symbols and stuff. It's the one area where I don't linger very often. So does the Allfather, and who's the Allfather? Odin. Does Odin have a sense of humour? Yes. When it comes to creation, yes. Very much indeed. Because I've also been asked about this as well. I've been asked about the platypus. To a normal person, it's the most randomest and weirdest animal on planet Earth. But in its own little universe, in its own little environment, it's an apex predator, believe it or not. And at one point in Earth's history, they dominated. The Ravens agreeing with me, because it's true. At one point, the planet was inhabited by similar creatures to the platypus. Because it is if you've never seen one, it's worth looking up. It's worth looking up, and it's worth looking up and go and just like you just come away from it going why how and why what is this creature? And it's the same with the salamander as well. Like they're most, for a predator animal, you look at the platypus and you're like, all right, cool, whatever. And then a salamander, well, it depends which one, because
I
salamanders
must go now.
because the salamanders you can hear I know the camera's picked that up. I know the camera's picked that up. That's what's. It's mainly coming from in front. Anyway, does the Allfather have a sense of humour? The creator of creation, yes, very much indeed. When it comes to the platypus and the salamander, well, depends what salamander, because salamanders actually can get pretty big. Like, there's some ginormous salamanders. And again, at one point, Earth was dominated by very, very similar creatures. Like they're a remnant of a primordial past, and I'm going somewhere with being the primordial, because if the Allfather has a sense of humour about creation and creating, doing weird and wonderful, things, well, we're going to get into the alligator and the crocodile. Yeah. Seeing them in their natural inhabitation and stuff is just it's a absolute. I've been to the Everglades where I've seen the alligators in their natural habitat, and some mental people decided to like I don't know why or how someone would think, oh, we're going to release Nile crocodiles. Right, the Nile crocodile. What's so significant about the Nile crocodile? It's not like any other. It's really, really not like any other crocodilian or even gator. It is very, very unique. The DNA structure from the Nile crocodile can
Get away from here.
take you. It's a direct speed link to when the very, very primal, the largest, because the Nile crocodile is actually a living descendant of the biggest known crocodilian. I can't remember the name off in my head. It's worth looking up though. But the Nile crocodiles, like it doesn't share any the DNA structure of a Nile crocodile does not match any other crocodilian, or even, and it's very adaptable as well because it can adapt to salt water, even though it's not classed as a salty, because in Australia they have salt water, like saltwater gators or crocodiles, but for where the Nile crocodile is, it has its own natural habitat on the Nile, hence why it's called the Nile crocodile. and the Egyptians revered them as well. Because even they knew. I've had a pet lizard. And it was like there was something staring back at me, but I've also stared at a Nile crocodile and a gator. The Nile crocodile lets you know that it's already thought of how it's going to get you. Very primal. I highly recommend looking at the eyes of one as well. I highly recommend looking at the eyes of one. Snakes are also very primal as well, but I'm going to talk about the crocodiles. The Nile crocodile in particular, because in Florida, some crazy redneck decided to go, let's have a interspecies erotica. Let's see what happens if you introduce the Nile crocodile with alligators. Well, you'll get a half-breed that just isn't sure what the fuck it is. It doesn't know if it's an alligator or a Nile crocodile, but it's got the temperament of a Nile crocodile, because Nile crocodiles are not like the reason they're not like is there's something very primal looking back at you. It's very primal. Gators are a bit lazy and lethargic, because there's a really, really good video of a Nile crocodile in Florida walking across a golf course. It's not a gator, because because Nile crocodiles are like, they go up and they are super quick as well, by the way, just putting that out there. Like, they are over a short distance, they're very, very, for their size, and
Hundreds died here.
Yeah, there is a battlefield not that far away from here. I will be going there. Well, it was a beautiful day today, but I came up and made the campfire and tidied up the wood around and made it a bit so that if anything comes up from this direction, I've got a bit of a barrier. That's quite interesting. The Nile crocodile. And I was going to say hillbilly, but it's more of a redneck. And that's why and they're the most adaptable as well, because that's the thing. Like, they introduced them thinking that they wouldn't survive. Well, they've got a whole Jurassic Park happening
I'm 10 years old.
In some parts of the Everglades and parts of Florida. Like, there's a Jurassic World happening at the moment, because you've got the Burmese pythons that have they've pretty much taken over. If you're really, really curious, have a look at the Burmese python trying to swallow a Nile crocodile in the Everglades. It blew my mind. I was like, nah. Surely, no, there is. Did the snake implode? Yeah, the snake died. Well, they both died. The gator, well, the Nile crocodile was suffocated, but the snake underestimated that when for a Nile crocodiles, because it's got quite a few, it's got a couple of tricks up its sleeve. It'll puff out when it's threatened, so it'll double in size and like in girth. Like they're already pretty stocky reptiles. They're huge. If you want me to be ruthlessly honest, they're fucking massive. They dwarf the Everglades gator by far, because the believe it or not, the Everglades gators are actually pretty chill. So imagine being an Everglade, just being an Everglade gator, going about your business, no really caring. You sort of, the humans sort of keep your distance, like the human population keeps a distance, you keep your distance, there's sort of like a mutual understanding. And then somebody just somewhere just went, fuck it, let's see what happens if you introduce Nile crocodiles. Well, well. The gator had no idea what was stepping on its territory. Because there's an actual video of a Nile crocodile, and it's only a juvenile. That's the scary thing. It's the same with the one that's walking over the golf course. That's not even a fully grown adult. That's a juvenile. It's a juvenile one. It's almost that adulthood, but it's still classed as a juvenile. I'm going to have piles in the morning.
Stomach problems.
No piles. Well, I will have, but I've not got stomach problems. If you had stomach problems, I feel sorry for you. The coldness, and because it is actually a really chilly night. It's super chilly. It's super chilly. Yeah, the Nile crocodile's been released into the Florida Everglades. Like some of it is accidental, but there is actually, like, when you look, like, you can look all this up. It is absolutely fascinating. Like, the Everglades is having going through a Jurassic period at the moment, where they've got all these different species of snakes that are just like the natural raccoon, for example. Doesn't stand a chance. Like, it doesn't stand a chance. There's like one raccoon's got about, how many predators is it now? It's about 12 predators, whereas back in before the 90s, there was only 5. There's now 12. There's now 12 predators, and then some of the two most invasive ones is the Burmese python, because they don't stop growing. I'm actually surprised someone's not released an anaconda, to be fair. And that only came to light in the past couple of years when they do controlled fires to to rejuvenate the ground, because most of the time it's dry. They go through like cycles where they have to burn the dryness and stuff, and that's when they realise that there's hardly any fauna or wildlife come running out. There is, but nothing like how they used to, because like when they've been to an area where they've not been to for a while, and then all of a sudden there's just like hundreds of snakes, and they're all Burmese pythons. And a Burmese python, the reason they take over so quickly is the amount of eggs they lay, and their hatch rate as well. Their hatch rate's pretty high as well. It's the same with the Nile crocodile as well, believe it or not. They're the same. They have a pretty successful hatch rate. So if you're a local Florida Everglade or Florida Key gator, the past 10. Well, I was there 20 years ago. Well over 20 years ago. And I noticed that when we went off, sort of like off grid from the like off tourist track. We went off the beaten track, and went and hired to go fishing. Well, we didn't go fishing in the Everglades. It was funny as it was looking back on it. I was so like excited because like I was sitting, but it's like one of these Crocodile Dundee boats. It's like the fan at the back. There's a reason why there's a platform. There's a reason. Whoever's sitting down in the front bit is, when it's stationary, is no recommended. It's really not recommended. I stared into the eyes of. I managed to get from the bottom up onto the top platform very quickly. Very quickly. But when you see the water's nothing, and then all of a sudden something rises and you just see an eye, like the eyes just, I'll never forget it. Believe it or not, it's one of the very, very, very few reoccurring dreams I have, is actually staring into the crocodile, like, and I realised that it wasn't actually a gator, because I later went to a place in.
Let's play a game.
No. Went to a place in it, they had Nile crocodiles, and I was like, oh. But this one was fucking huge, and I'm not exaggerating. Because Nile crocodiles get big. Well, we came to an area of the Everglades where the Nile crocodiles have had. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to collect my stuff. No idea what the fuck that was.
I'm over here.
Very good. Very fucking good. It's not the fucking spirits I'm worried about. It's whatever the fuck that was. Because that was I could hear voices and dogs at the same time. The only Oh, sorry. I'll show the torchlight where that came from. It actually came from way over. I'll come up here so you can see. Way up. In that direction. There's another woodland. It came from over in that direction actually. Some of the symbols in the woodland, they're actually more interesting at night time than they are during the day, which is a bit weird. I cleaned up all this area. That's what I was doing today, because that was all full of things to trip over and stuff. And a wee bit down that way as well. And I sort of like started going along that in that direction as well. In that direction there, going along there. Clear footing. Might need to jump off and come back on again. It's exactly what happened last year. It's exactly what happened last year. Because it comes from directly over, there's like a woodland and then there's like, it goes down into another valley. And that's where I was hearing all the stuff last year as well. But I've got a better recording device, so the audio, you'll be able to hear it a bit better. And I know 100% the camera's picked up on that.
I guess you have questions.
And just to clarify, I don't call out, obviously. I've got my reasons for it. It's really there for entertainment and just to see what comes through. But I can't use that on the way back down, it's just a bit too bright. It's a little bit too bright. I've got to look down because there's not a lot of bits for manoeuvring. Yeah, the gators, the topic of the all father having a sense of humour with the with the platypus and the salamander. Well, he has nothing to do with what's happening in the in the Everglades at the moment. That's a mixture of weather phenomenon and people getting them as pets and then realising, because like you get a Burmese python, yeah, they're a cute wee snake, but it doesn't stop growing. Even when they're adults, they don't stop growing. It's constant. It's one of the very few snakes that's just constantly. It's a constrictor, so it's always. I've touched. I've had a small one coiled around me, and they've got some strength. But the big ones, the big 11 and 12 footers, they're just solid muscle. They can get bigger than that as well, but we tend to keep a tab on them, because when they start getting into the 8 and 9 foot range, that's the range of where, like, well, we become food. And we're very good at going, nope. And that's what they're doing in the Everglades, because the natural, because they're technically classed as an invasive species, but they have to the Nile crocodiles. It's a bit different because they're not technically a Nile crocodile, because they're interbred as well, because the Everglades are going through a little bit of a Jurassic, but the Nile crocodiles there is something very, very, very primal looking back at you when you stare into the eyes of a Nile crocodile. Like, something very primal is staring back at you. They take you right back to.
Please don't go now.
To the Jurassic period and beyond as well. Very, very interesting, very fascinating creatures. And they can also go into like a cryostasis as well. And it's a little unknown fact about them. They're the most adaptable species of crocodilian. Why? Because that's how they serve. That's why they're a living dinosaur. Literally, like the Nile crocodile is a living dinosaur. There's a reason why the Egyptians. There's a reason why the Egyptians revered them and seen them as gods, because they knew. It doesn't take very long to look at one and you just like, oh, there's something else staring back. Because we're over the bit. Oh, are we? I've still got another couple of minutes to go. I'm going to use this wee torch on the way back down as well. It's pretty handy. I have got another topic, but I'm going to have to come out and do a separate video for that one. No, that's all. Oh, talking doo-doo. Do I have separate videos? Yeah, it's about dreams. I'll briefly talk about it on another video. So I'm going to walk about. Take my rubbish with me. So the latest Spirit Talker was
Do I scare you?
It's just say that do I scare you? No. You came back. I was here earlier today and yesterday and the day before that as well. And before that it said, please don't go now. I'll keep this on, but I'm going to come on a different format. Come join me on episode 2.
Alexander.
I only came here for the witching hour. I didn't come here for another video. Yeah, weird shit's happening. Can't discern if it's close or getting closer. It's coming. I'm going to come off and come join me on the next one. Thank you for watching this one, but I'm going to come do an episode 2 and turn the camera around the other way. Come join me on episode 2. Till then, stay safe, stay blessed, God bless. Peace.